When I play VR for hours, my biggest hurdles are comfort and battery life. So today I'm unboxing my Bigscreen 2E VRChat edition. I spent my own money, so you don't have to. To fix the battery problem, I wanted wired for long-term gaming, and for comfort, I picked the lightest headset ever made as of today, the Bigscreen VR 2E, which is advertised at 107 grams. By the way, if you stick around, you'll see me weigh it and try out the eye tracking. I'm not using the Bigscreen VR eye tracking right now. As you just saw, I had 3 boxes that came in one order. The box with the headset, the box with the audio strap, and then the box that holds the universal face cushions. And then 2 weeks later, the prescription lenses arrived. The first box I opened has the headset and is what you would get if you didn't order the extras. And in my opinion, paying an additional $50 for a nicely printed box and a purple frame isn't necessary. I ordered this back in March before I started my YouTube channel. I'm not sponsored, I do this because I just enjoy it. Leave a like and subscribe for support since it's completely free. In the first box, we get the headset itself. Then we get a head strap that goes around the back of the head and it has a clip for the cable. Also, we get the head strap that goes on the top of the head, similar to how a headset would sit. There's no built-in sound if you go for the basic order of the 2E. I heard complaints in previous versions about the attachments clipping with the cables, but I don't see any pinching issues with the order that I have. The cylindrical rubber cable holder that's included protects the cable really well, and they include an extra one next to the mini screwdriver. The mini screwdriver lets you physically adjust the IPD. If you wear prescription glasses, in-person stores can measure your IPD for you, so you don't have to. It's better than trying to measure it yourself. The link box breaks into 2 USBs for power and a display port for your graphics card. If your computer doesn't have enough power output, your big screen won't turn on. All provided cables need to be plugged in. I'm running a 1,600 watt power supply in my build, and I have USB power saving turned off in Windows. The bottom cardboard has a QR code that brings you to the setup documentation if you need it. This cable is unidirectional. The orange side has to plug into the breakout box, and the blue side has to plug into the headset. I recommend keeping these tags on the cable. If it's reversed, you won't get any output at all. The microfiber cloth is a nice touch. Here's everything that came in the first box. The next thing I unboxed is the audio strap. This is an additional part of my order that includes the built-in microphone and the headphones. The sides are well protected in this box. If you have a big head, they include extensions on the side, but I worry about how flimsy this audio headset is going to be in the long run. The Steam Index head straps have a tendency to break, and this looks similar to it. The replacement audio strap for the big screen is currently $129 to replace. The custom-fit cushions seemed like a novelty to me, so I didn't bother getting it. I tend to have guests over to try out my tech, so the universal fit makes more sense and easier to share. The third box includes 2 universal face cushions. This is included in the base order, and I've used this for a couple weeks. It's magnetic, it's washable, and it's easy to attach. The weight and feel is similar to putting on swimming goggles. I didn't scan my face for a custom face cushion. Most headsets will only give you 1 face gasket when you first open them, so the second one is a huge bonus for me. Best of all, I don't sweat just by wearing the headset. I was afraid to pull the USB-C on the audio strap too tightly, but you need to give it a firm, slow tug, pulling away from the headset to get the cable to extend. I was worried I was going to break it the entire time, and I verified with support that it's okay to firmly pull the USB cable because I'm not about to waste $129 for another one. The straps just clip onto the sides of the headset. With the audio strap, I'm able to flip the headset up when I need to see. There's no pass-through mode on the 2E, which is perfectly fine for me. Let's compare the headset weight. On my scale, the headset measures 113 grams. This is without the face gasket and without the prescription lenses. My first flighted bird is 120 grams, and my new bird that doesn't fly weighs about 110 grams in comparison. The Vive XR Elite used to be the smallest full VR headset on the market, and it supports 1920 by 1920 per eye at up to 90 Hz. The sides continuously break, but I do have two. You could wear the Elite like glasses, but they don't have enough power without the battery. The weight of my broken Vive XR Elite is 236 grams without any of the attachments. You can see the difference between the sizes of the lenses. The built-in diopters on the Elite was one of my favorite features. It's too bad that they discontinued it. For total weight, my scale weighed 163 for the audio strap, plus 113 grams for the headset, for a total of 276 grams on your head. With weight being a priority, I prefer the weight of the Bigscreen compared to my Vive XR Elite for non-face tracking games. Here's a side-by-side of my Bigscreen 2E VRChat edition, compared to my Vive XR Elite with my face tracker, my face gasket, battery, and a mount for a continuous tracker. Let's look at the requirements in order to use this headset. The requirements are Windows 10 or 11. The Linux users are out of luck for this. Steam-based stations are a hard requirement. And last, bring your own controllers. I noticed an issue with the UDCap glove software crashing SteamVR when used with a Bigscreen headset. This won't be a problem for most people. The Link box has two USBs and a DisplayPort 1.4. Remember, if you don't have enough power, the headset won't turn on. The IPD tool goes directly into the side of the headset. Just make sure not to lose it. I'm going to keep mine in the original packaging. The soft strap goes around the back of the head, and the rubber strap goes around the cable that pops into place. Leave a couple inches for slack. The top strap isn't mandatory, but it is attached through Velcro. Of course, you need Steam to use it for SteamVR. The next thing I had to do was install the Bigscreen Utility. I couldn't get mine to open when I tried launching from Steam, but I was able to open it from the Windows tray at the bottom right of the taskbar. I also needed to have my headset plugged in and recognized in SteamVR before I can make changes within the tool itself. Off screen, I manually selected my SteamVR folder since I don't keep games on my C drive, I just keep mine on my G drive. The utility optimized SteamVR settings. I just clicked on the red notification and clicked resolve to auto-fix any issues. I like this feature a lot. So in addition to physically adjusting the IPD with the tool, you also have to adjust it inside this software as well. That got rid of any noticeable green on the lenses except for when I was calibrating the eye tracking. Install the eye tracking add-on, restart SteamVR, and open the Bigscreen Utility again. Then you can open the eye tracking tool. I didn't receive a token for eye tracking, but I asked support and I was sent a token within 24 hours. Support can come off as rude, but at least they can provide support. By default, mine was set to 75. You can also make it brighter or darker. Also, you can adjust the fan speed, but I haven't seen a need to adjust the fan speed yet. Note that you see the big screen beta running in the background. I didn't see any use for this. This just looks like the metaverse. Big screen, just replace this with cute anime girls and it'll be more popular. Or directly interface with VRChat. I'm just gonna uninstall the big screen beyond beta. Look at me, I'm pretending to be 2D. I'm 2D pretending. Okay. Anyway. So I had to wait a week or two between getting the headset and getting the prescription. When you have your token, you can drop it in and click enroll. Here mine says redo enrollment. I'll show calibration in a moment. Calibration creates a model that you can rename and enable. We're using version 0.3.3 beta. You can create multiple models as some will work better than others. You can see I made 10 other models beforehand throughout December for testing. Just know that installed on the utility doesn't mean that eye tracking is running. You can pick between sending your data directly to VRChat, which didn't work for me, or you can just pick VRFT, which is in Steam. You'll see a DFR setting, and this mostly applies to racing games or Kayak VR. It's disabled by default, and it's very likely that you won't need it. I'm using the Bigscreen VR microphone without any filters whatsoever. And let's go ahead and look at the eyes. So I'm looking at my finger, right, left. And as you can see, it did take me 11 tries. And if you look, I can't squint still. So it thinks my eyes are closed when I'm squinting. And of course, after a blink or a squint, the eyes reset. I wish they went back into the position they last were. So if I'm looking down, it also thinks I'm blinking when I'm looking down. So if I'm looking down, I should remember that I'm looking down and not try to correct the eyes back to the middle. But yeah, this model is a lot better, but it's kind of weird. Can I go cross-eyed? Kinda. But yeah, I feel like a chameleon with this. I think the headset has a pretty good microphone. But they definitely have a lot of work to do. Here's a summary of everything I talked about. Let me know if you like a follow-up in the comments. Maybe like and subscribe. I'm 2D. Look at me pretending to be 2D and stiff.